Greetings, I'm Mark with Unlimited Story, unlimited-story.com, a channel dedicated to writing, world building, marketing, and most importantly, getting things done. In this video, I'm covering episode number 2 of Loki, which was fabulous and all I ever wanted out of this series. Like, this is the kind of stuff that I was hoping for, and I finally got it. So, here we go. Stick around. I'll do it for now. And welcome back. So, episode number 2, it was glorious. I mean, basically, this is what I wanted from episode number 1, but I couldn't get it because they had to do this really, big, convoluted world setup, because this isn't really just a simple, straightforward kind of show. There is a lot involved, and if you don't understand all the elements, just like Disney and Marvel want us to, because then there's lots of loopholes, well then, never mind, I'm getting off track. So, let's get started. What episode did I watch? Episode number 2. What are my initial thoughts? Amazing. I mean, already they started out in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. It's awesome. I just love the fact that they were there. I love that they were at a Renaissance fair. Everything about that opening was great. And that kind of, it started off the episode in a really good place. And, it carried out throughout the entire episode. You got to see how this alternative Loki acted, reacted, kind of like what they do, and I just thought it was awesome. And then the ending just killed it for me, because I was like, now we're really gonna get to see what this other Loki is about. So I predicted that they would finally get to interact, and I knew that there would be a situation where they'd be forced to keep the interaction short. So really happy overall. Awesome episode. What was my favorite part? Definitely the very end, where Loki is just sitting there looking at this, time door or whatever they're calling him, and he's basically seeing the TVA and knowing this is his last chance. He's going to get erased, or however they describe it. Like, they say erased, but my understanding is maybe they just put him back in the timeline, kind of brainwashed, and just, I don't know. My understanding is he gets erased, and then someone else gets put in his place. But whatever the case, he looks at them and he's like, well, I'm really into saving myself, so I'm going to take option number 2, which is unknown, but still better than you scrubs. So there you go. And, again, it sets up a lot of hype for the next episode. What is my least favorite part? Loki getting crushed by normal people. So I don't really know how alternative Lady Loki powers work, but when she has these other people enchanted with whatever they're enchanted with, why are they able to just clean up Loki? I mean, he's supposed to be a combat expert or whatever. Like, do all these people know how to fight just as well as him? I mean, he has powers. Why ain't he using them? He just got cleaned up by Hoss or whatever his name is. I was really, really disappointed that. I was kind of confused. Like I said, he's an Asgardian. Well, Frost Giant, whatever. He's got his strength. He's got his durability. He's got all this stuff going for him. Like, he went head to head with Captain America and he stood his ground. So why is he just getting cleaned up by this dude? Meh. Is there anything unclear or confusing? Yeah. I mean, and Loki pointed it out at the Renaissance Fair. He's like, you guys are just dumb. Like, I don't get it. They're supposed to be this incredibly intelligent organization. They jumped on Loki within a minute of him breaking the sacred timeline. Yet for some reason, they keep sending little groups of Minutemen to places where they think, where they know there's a Nexus event. So are there that many Nexus events where there's we gotta take care of all these, and then they just keep getting jumped by this Loki? Because it's clear this Loki has done a ton, because you see all the charges that this Loki has stolen. So clearly it's been an issue for a very long time. So, but they keep sending small units in. Are they hard up for people? Are they running out of money? I don't understand what the issue is. Even when Mobius was like, yo, I need to send a full team or whatever. 10 people, I counted them, 10 people went to that Rock's Cart store. That includes Mobius and Loki. So you're telling me 10 people? Why didn't they send an army? You can't send more people than that? They're all gonna die. It's an apocalyptic event. Nobody cares. I don't know. trash. They deserve to die. Really, they deserve to die. What are my thoughts on the main character? Well, Loki is being himself. He is not, a fighter or anything like that. What are my thoughts on the main character? I mean, it's Loki, so what do you think? I'm a huge fan. But what I will say is that he is playing it smart. He is, learning kind of the rules of the game, and he only gets better over the course of time. He thinks, in a tactical manner. So, I always go back to Thor Ragnarok, where he gets thrown into Sakaar, and he works his way up, and within 2 weeks he's BFFs or whatever with the Grandmaster, while Thor is in a chair with a melt stick up to him or whatever. So these are the kind of things I like to think about. Loki has to build up. It takes a little bit of time, and he has to learn the rules of engagement. So clearly this other Loki that he's dealing with is just steps ahead, and it's going to take time to get caught up, and we'll see where things land. What are my thoughts on the other characters? Well, Mobius kind of has more teeth than I thought. I thought he was just going to be your, kind of plain Jane, whatever. I'm going to be in Loki's corner, so on and so forth. But no, he's shown that, I'll just tell this little dude whatever I need to tell him so that I can get what I need, because that's my job. So it's kind of heartless, but, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I mean, this is his job, and he's been doing it for an unknown amount of time, potentially on repeat. So there's that. Renslayer, she's kind of bland, boring. I mean, I get what she's doing. She is doing the will of the Timekeepers. It's just, I don't know. She hasn't gotten anywhere where I'm really interested in her. She has an interesting sort of relationship with Mobius, but it's very clear that she is just supposed to fulfill the Timekeepers' duties, who, to me, the Timekeepers don't even exist. Maybe they're just figureheads and they're gone and already been replaced by Miss Minutes or something like that. I just don't see the Timekeepers truly existing as they are portrayed, because nobody sees them yet, or maybe we will. I don't know. And then I guess the only really important character then is the alternative Loki, which is being referred by everyone as Lady Loki. She's amazing. It's kind of almost like the movie Face Off, where, they're playing two different characters, except they're both playing the same character, just in different bodies. But who really knows if she is a Loki? Because she doesn't really want to be referred to by that name, which makes me think that she's really not Loki, because Loki loves to be Loki. He is proud of who he is in many, 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 many ways. He likes to take the glory. If he was to commit a crime, unless the purpose was not letting everyone know, he would make sure everyone knows. He is that type of character. He likes to showboat. I mean, how many times do I have to say it? He's a bard. He straight up is a bard. So, to me, Lady Loki isn't all that we've been told. In fact, I am 100% certain everything that we know about her is wrong. So just expect something like that. Is there anything else I'd like to see from this chapter? Yeah, I'd like the world building fully explained in a way that actually makes sense and doesn't allow for loopholes and all that other jazz. I have a strong feeling by the end of this that Loki/Lady Loki is going to break a bunch of stuff, which is going to allow everything in the multiverse to start happening, instead of basically creating their own loopholes so that the Scarlet Witch can do whatever she wants. But again, that still doesn't make up for the fact that the TVA is all-knowing, and why don't they just go back in time and just knock out Scarlet Witch? Whatever, I'm getting off subject. I would love for them to, explain more stuff, because right now it's confusing. But I also have to realize they don't know, and they're just leaving things wide open to do whatever they want to do. What do I expect to happen next? I expect protagonist Loki to hang out and do stuff with Lady Loki. He's probably going to get beat up a little bit. Probably tied up, that seems to be a pretty common thing. And they'll talk. He'll earn her trust. Come on, it's a Loki. You think anyone really trusts each other? But they'll put each other in a situation where both parties win, so both people are in a situation where they want to work together, at least for a short amount of time. What I will say is I expect Loki to start getting more power, okay? There is no way that this show can continue with him just making little illusions, and he doesn't even have weapons. So I expect him to learn how she has these powers, or is able to manipulate powers differently. They're probably going to travel around to some of these locations, whether once she's bombed, or maybe they're going to go to the TVA. But either way, they're going to travel around, do a few things, and that's about it. Actually, I don't expect them to go into the TVA. If they're together, the two of them, they won't go directly to TVA. They'll probably go somewhere else. Like, she doesn't have a direct attack on the TVA as her motivation. It's something else. She needs to be able to pull something off and get more time in because she doesn't want to be interrupted. That's my expectation. But by the end of this episode, you're going to get a pretty good idea of what this Loki is trying to do. But also know that this is only the step one, because what else she is doing is still very, very, very much like hidden from us. Like, she ain't gonna tell protagonist Loki what's happening for at least another episode. How much did I enjoy this episode? I give it an 8. I would have given it a 9 if he wasn't getting cleaned up by Haas, which just, again, doesn't make any sense. Like, there's certain things where I'm just sitting there like, why is this happening? He's a god. Yeah, he fought the Hulk. And it's not like the Hulk picked him up. Like, I mean, okay, yes, the Hulk did pick him up and throw him around, but it's not like he exploded or died. The Hulk is like hundreds of times stronger than this Haas dude, who I've named Haas. Why is he getting cleaned up? I just don't understand it. Like, 8. How eager am I to watch the next episode? I was gonna say 9, but to be perfectly honest, I'll give it a 10. I really want to know what's happening with this other Loki. I mean, the way they set it up with the time door and all that stuff, like, there's gonna be a lot that's gonna get dropped on us all at once. So tons of exposition, but it's all gonna be stuff that I'll love. So I'm really excited. I'll actually give it a 10. Is there anything else I want to add? Yeah, there's actually a few things. 1, those time doors do not stay open very long. Hunter walks through, shuts right away. Like, that's just how it goes. Every time we've seen these doors, open, close very quick, which makes sense. They don't want stuff sneaking through. But you notice this time door after the little lady Loki walked through? It stayed open for quite a while. So just think about these things. Like, there was a reason why. I mean, he had time to just sit there and be like, go through the door. You know, these are the kind of things that it makes sense. Like, obviously, she left the door open. I don't really understand why she did it. Did she want his help? Because they didn't seem to be getting along very well. So these are just things that I think about. But whatever the case, you know, obviously Loki's going to take the choice that behooves him the most. Another thing I want to say is that Mobius is definitely getting a jet ski at some point. Okay, like, it's definitely happening. I expect, like, protagonist Loki to be like good guy mode and blah blah blah, and then somehow get Mobius a jet ski, because those two should survive or something. One other thing I want to throw out there is that it's been very refreshing to enjoy an episode of a show that has a protagonist that is smart. Now, that's not to say someone like Thor, Captain America aren't smart. That's not to say that someone like a Bruce Banner, a Tony Stark, a Doctor Strange, that they're not smart. What I'm saying is, Thor and Captain America are like dumb smart, right? You know, they're not using their brains to solve problems. For the most part, they're just using their muscles, okay? Or whatever. Yeah, they all have different purposes. And someone like Tony Stark or Bruce Banner and all them, they would just, you know, oh, I'm going to build this machine, or this weird shape that I've never heard of because I never got into that high of a class. It applies. So all those things are in there. I just want to say that it's really nice to see a character who is like intelligent, just generally intelligent, and that you can kind of follow their thought patterns the whole way through. And it was just really enjoyable. Like, it's just not something I'm used to seeing in these movies. So I thought it was a very refreshing change. And again, this is what I kind of was hoping for from Loki. You know, he is a bard, but he is actually smart. Like, he can read, like, he knows things, and that's nice. So that's it for this episode. Consider subscribing, or at least watching one of my videos that YouTube recommends right up there. Peace.